everybody, welcome to the next live stream. I'm calling this one Pebble Beaches and Lore, and we are going to, arriving at Hogwarts. We're going to be headed back over to the lake to put in the Pebble Beach that the first years land at before walking up to the front door of Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. And we are going to talk a little bit about the lore, about how a child ends up at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. I do apologize for the lag right here at the beginning of the video. It's primarily because I've got Minecraft doing something really stupid in the background that I want to show you before we really get into building something. And so I'm just going to go ahead and jump over, open Minecraft, show you what we've got going on. Okay, so here's our hold on a second. Y'all lost me in that. Give me 1 second to fix my camera. So, hello, Uncle Carl. Nice to see you again. Hopefully you'll get a lot out of the, I've got to, figure out how to make this more, yes, I know the settings changed. Leave me alone. So right now I'm doing something y'all actually can't see. Cancel. I'm just gonna deactivate chroma cam. Okay. And activate the webcam. Okay. And go here. Activate. There we go. Now I'm on screen. Well, hello, other people. Please feel free to introduce yourself. You'll notice Carl Emmons will comment frequently in the chat box because he likes to keep me abreast of what's going on in the audience. And please respond to him. Is he the only one that is experiencing a frozen screen? I'm not. I don't think. Well, now I am. Let's see. If I pull up, did this fix anybody? Okay, for those of you that don't know, there's a roughly 30-second hello, Trevor Shear. Welcome to today's live stream. Trevor Shear is kindly requested to exit his current place of stillness and enter the external room and follow the path in a, yeah, he figured it out. Trevor Shear is requested to come and figure out why am I supposedly frozen?
You're no longer frozen.
Oh, okay.
This is over my cell connection.
I wonder how far in the past that was.
I'm still hearing only one.
Okay.
Yeah, you're asking if Carl's the only one who experienced frozen screen.
Okay, so whatever y'all are experiencing, I am apparently not frozen anymore, so I'm just going to keep going with what I'm doing. So whatever I did, fixed it. Here you are going to see where the train station, the Hogsmeade train station, is going to go. Now, the lag here is caused because we're in such close proximity to the forest. And yeah, until I fly away from the forest, there's not a whole lot I can do about the lag. The yeah, huge significant time lag. It makes it hard for me to know what's going on y'all's end. So the train station will go here, and this is where the road ends to the train station. So the thestral carriages will be lined up along this side of the road, with the train tracks over here, and the platform, the platform along the, going up this way. Now, the first years, I'm going to read an excerpt from the, yay, I'm moving. I'm going to read an excerpt from the book. This is the American version, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. And it's chapter 6, The Journey from Platform 9 3/4. And it says, slipping and stumbling, they followed Hagrid down what seemed to be a steep, narrow path. It was so dark on either side of them that Harry thought there must be thick trees there. Nobody spoke much. Neville sniffled once or twice. I'm paraphrasing a little bit here. Y'all get your first sight of Hogwarts in a sec, Hagrid called over his shoulder. Just round this bend here. There was a loud ooh. The narrow path had opened suddenly onto the edge of a great black lake. Perched atop a high mountain on the other side, its windows sparkling in the starry sky, was a vast castle with many turrets and towers. No more and forward to a boat. And he had all the students climb into the boat. Hagrid got into one, and the fleet of little boats moved off all at once, gliding across the lake, which was smooth as glass. Everyone was silent, staring up at the great castle overhead. It towered over them as they sailed nearer and nearer to the cliff on which it stood. Heads down, yelled Hagrid as the first boats reached the cliff. They all bent their heads, and the little boats carried them through a curtain of ivy that hid a wide opening in the cliff face. They were carried along a dark tunnel which seemed to be taking them right underneath the castle until they reached a kind of underground harbor, where they clambered out onto rocks and pebbles. Oi, you there, is that your toad? Then they clambered up a passageway in the rock after Hagrid's lamp, coming out onto a smooth, damp grass right in the shadow of the castle. They walked up a flight of stone steps and crowded around the huge oak front door. Everyone here? You still got your toad? Hagrid raised a gigantic fist and knocked 3 times on the castle door. Okay. The important part of that is that we're going to get off the train, and my thought is that because we don't have a mention of the carriages, they probably go the opposite direction of the carriages, and they go around the train thing through the forest of, I think there's supposed to be birch trees. That's in a different chapter. And they exit onto a beach next to a giant black lake. Yeah, I just ended up in the lake. Where they can see the castle. Now, if I turn up the rendering, you can see the castle from this point. I made sure of that when I put the wall in. But if I turn up the rendering, y'all will also lose video again, so let's not do that. But then they're going to sail across the lake, getting closer and closer to the castle. So this, to me, seems to mean that they're going to sail right up past this area here, right up under That's the courtyard that I've been putting in off screen. That this white area, and that's of course the dungeon down below the water level. And they're gonna go right up into this right up into this cliff. Probably right about here with Hogwarts directly over their heads. This is my thought of where the boats probably go. So this is where we're going to start smashing out a hole. Now, we are, of course, above the dungeon level because we're going to be above the water. We're just going to go 1 or 2 blocks below the water. This is, I'm currently standing in 57, so if we grab our axe and hit there, that's 58. That's 61, that's the bottom of the water, or the top of the water. And so this is the level, so we're plenty above. We can go a couple down from that and not have a problem. Let me just put that hole back. And probably this part right here is where we're going to put the little boat. He's going to go right in here somewhere. Let me make sure we're still on the same level. That's 67. Go down a little. That's 64. That's 62. Alright, so that's... I'm just going to make our life a little bit easier here. Water. Water, water. There. Now we know where the water level is. And the boats only need a 1 path, but remember we've got Hagrid in it. You're all... Hagrid says... I can't... I'm Texan. I'm going to pronounce it y'all every time I try. It's Y-E-H''LL. I would think it was y'all, but I know Hagrid's English, not Texan, so it's not y'all, so I don't know. If Grian or Mumbo or somebody else from the UK wants to pipe in how you actually pronounce that, go for it. I think it's y'all. So, yes, Hagrid said y'all. Okay, now, we're going to go in here and create a pebbly beach. We're going to have ivy coming down over this opening. The question is how high do we actually want this opening? So the boat, right. We're going to have problems with this freezing on us. We're just going to have to deal with that for the moment. Alright, the boats come in like this. Hagrid's sitting in the boat. People are, according to Minecraft, half as tall when they're sitting, so we're only 1 tall instead of 2 tall. So Hagrid, instead of being 4 tall, would be 2 tall. So, and we want to give him some headroom, so 2 tall plus a head. Puts him there. And we know he does have to duck a little bit to get in, so let's go ahead and that there. And if we get vines, and we just put the vines over, they will grow on their own to cover this cliff face. if you don't remember how well vines grow, try to remember back to the when we did the vegetable garden, and I put a couple of vines over there. They really took off and went wild. So I'll make the vines go out a little bit. And we're going to go into world edit I'm going to nuts. I don't remember how to change we did it in a previous episode. I changed the, wow, that's a lot of squid. And of course they're dying because they're not actually staying in the water. Oh well. Alright, so in we go. If the gravel falls, the gravel falls. This is my thought process here. Heads down. Birch boughs reached the cliff. They all bent their heads, carried them through a curtain of ivy that hid a wide opening in the cliff face. Well, it's going to be wide to a bunch of first years. They were carried along a dark tunnel which seemed to be taking them right underneath the castle until they reached a kind of underground harbor. So we're going to go most of the way through in this. Well, wide might be because more than one boat goes in at a time. There's a thought. So maybe maybe we have a nice wide. Why not? And that wasn't intentional. Wide opening in cliff face. There we go. We're going to build the boats. And this is one of those instances where I'm wondering at what point in the video you actually asked that, because boy howdy. Okay, this is ice. It's because the oh, okay, so yeah, you're talking about these two blocks. These are ice. So what's happening, because we're in a cold biome, as evidenced by things like I can put snow down and it doesn't melt, water freezes. Yeah. So this is the water freezing. And it will unfortunately continue to do that until I change the biome that we're in for the tunnel. Yeah, see, ice formed right there. I had changed the biome for most of the lake, I thought, and apparently not. Because if I go to F3, the biome shows up on here somewhere. I knew it does. I know it does. I know it does. Yeah, biome. Second block of information, fourth or fifth one down. Cold Taiga M. Cold Taiga Mountain biome. And I had that's what most of Hogwarts is. I thought I had changed the lake to deep ocean, but I'm apparently mistaken. I'm gonna have to figure out how to fix that a little bit better, because we really don't want the entire lake freezing. Every time we don't want the lake freezing. Alright, so that is what the boat outlet looks like, and of course this will be, the whole lake will be filled with water, so there won't be this waterfall here. And see, the vines are already starting to come down to cover the cave entrance. So, and they'll spread incessantly over time. Let me get rid of this F3 screen. And we just keep going through here. For those of you that don't know, Trevor Shear is my on-site tech support until I get all of my tech certifications and know as much as he does, which will like never happen because the man is a genius. But you know, we can dream. Okay, we are going to start using our and let the destruction begin.
Transport's going off-site.
And we're just gonna clear this out at some point. Okay, so now we are seeing the dungeon level on the mini map up in the top corner. So when we get past behind the cliff face a little bit, we'll stop getting this sand problem. Now, dark tunnel is going to be the theme here because I don't need to light this up to keep mobs from spawning. Mobs will not spawn in midair, and they will not spawn in water. So we don't have to light this up. So we can make this a dark tunnel going all the way through to, and this is the important part we want to know about. So now we have to go back up over the top. I got a little bit of work done on the ground floor of the castle. See that? I'll show you my color scheme while I'm over here. Okay. They're going to come out onto a grassy lawn right in front of the front door. Now, while this is never mentioned again, then they clambered up a passageway in the rock after Hagrid's lamp, coming out at last onto smooth, damp grass right in the shadow of the castle. They walked up a flight of stone steps and crowded around the huge oak front door. Well, the way I'm going to do this, I'm going to have a nice front porch out here, and the stone steps are going to be about where this is. So I think they come out here. This is my thought. They come out in the shadow of this here. So if we just... I'm hoping we don't run into the Hufflepuff common room here. Okay. I'm going to clamber up my butt. There's going to be stairs. They're going to come out right here. If I just... Hagrid has to be able to get in. So after I put a stair here, that's 1, 2... I didn't go far enough back. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4 for Hagrid's height. And there's where the stairs go. And so this one... No, this is the one that has to be, because there's where the stairs go. Okay, and then they're going to come up this way. Like that. And we'll put the stairs in. And the important part is that we go down until we get, down here until we get to the Y62 level, and then we mark it with a waypoint, and we will, after we've marked it with a waypoint, then we can go back to the hole in the other side, and it will, yeah. Sarah does know how to talk, usually. Okay. I imagine they would have replaced the top of this with stone so that, you know, things wouldn't fall on students' heads. That's my thought process. And this is one of the biggest tunnels we will be building in this map, because it's Hagrid friendly. Most tunnels are not Hagrid friendly. I don't know how we're going to decorate this. We'll get to that later. All right, I can see the Hufflepuff dormitories and whatnot on my screen now. So I know how far I have to go before I start hitting them, which is really nice. So I'm just going to keep going here. And since now what I'm basically doing is that stuff where I tend to go really silent, I'm going to fill you in about the quill of, hold on, a wonderful site called Pottermore. Yeah, Quill of Acceptance and Book of Admittance. I had to pull up my cheat sheet so that I didn't get them mixed up because, you know, those don't sound alike or anything. So the idea here is that when a child is born, if they have some sort of magical ability, then the Quill of Acceptance sort of goes, oh, and wiggles a little bit and hops out of his little silver ink bottle and hops over to the Book of Acceptance to write the Book of Admittance to write the child's name in the book. However, if the book disagrees that this child is magical, the book closes and refuses to let the name be written in. And the quill goes back to his ink pot and waits. On Pottermore, one of the really wonderful stories that go along with this is the story of Neville Longbottom. So as we know, Neville is not incredibly magically gifted, and it is stated in the books several times that his family wasn't sure he'd be admitted to Hogwarts. And in fact, the Quill had tried to admit Neville to Hogwarts when he was an infant, and the book rejected him until Neville bounced after being accidentally dropped out a window when he was, how old was he? I think he was 8 years old. When he was 8 years old, the book agreed that a bouncing 8-year-old had to be magical, and so the okay. And so the little Longbottom was accepted into Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. Now, I covered up my the book and quill are kept in a locked tower, viewed only by the headmaster or headmistress of Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, only in the month preceding the letters going out to new students. So what kind of stairs are we going to use? We're going to use cobblestone stairs. The students, or the students, parents, faculty, nobody knows who's getting into Hogwarts until that summer. it's a very interesting admission method. There's no way that a parent can bribe the school to let their child in if they don't deserve admittance, and there's no way that a muggle-born won't be offered admittance, or will be missed because of no magical connections, because the book knows, and the quill knows, and that's the only things they need to know is the book and the quill. The other part of the admittance procedure that I wanted to discuss with you was a rather unique thing that can occur during the sorting ceremony. And this unique event is called a hat stall. And what it basically is at some point, it is getting really dark down this tunnel. Let's see, where's, here, add a couple of glowstones in to the walls, because following Hagrid's lamp is one thing, but, geez. If the sorting hat, so everyone knows that to be sorted into your houses, you go to the front of the Great Hall and sit on the stool and wear the sorting hat, and the sorting hat determines what house you're going to be put in. And it's an enchanted hat that was enchanted. It was originally Godric Gryffindor's hat, and it was enchanted by the four founders so that there would be an entity to determine who goes into their houses after they were no longer at the school alive to make the call. It's a very effective system. And 69, okay. But occasionally the hat gets stumped. And this is called a hat stall. It's when the hat takes more than 5 minutes to make a decision about what house a particular student should go into. And we know of it happening at least twice in living memory. The first was Minerva McGonagall. Now, as we all know, Minerva McGonagall ends up as deputy headmistress and then headmistress of Hogwarts after being head of Gryffindor House. So we know that she's a Gryffindor. Is where she's eventually sorted into. But what we don't know, unless we're, well, watching my channel or just incredibly obsessed with Harry Potter the way that, Sarah is, what we don't know is that Minerva McGonagall could have been in Ravenclaw. The hat took an exorbitantly long amount of time to determine where to put her, because he wasn't sure whether her bravery or her brain were her defining traits. And we do know that Minerva McGonagall is capable of entering the Ravenclaw common room. She is, you know what? That's a good idea, Uncle Carl. We're going to use torches because again, mobs can't spawn on stairs, so there's no reason for us to light this up. Where are the torches at? Torches. There we go. That'll be easier to remove after construction. You are completely right. And we are now on Y63. So this stair here goes to Y62, and we are almost to the bottom. And that was me not paying attention to what I'm doing. I'll fix that. I can fix that. Put that back. We are now on 62, so this is going to be the location of the Pebble Beach. So I'm just going to, let's see, he would be, now we do have a little bit of fun here, because guess what? Mobs spawn on gravel. So even after we put the gravel in, which is what we're doing here, replacing the ground with gravel, this is going to have to be lit up. So we're going to come up with something later in this episode probably to light this up. But what I'm going to do right now is hit the B button, and it's going to do something. Okay. Pebble Beach. Save. Okay. And that is a wrong. Okay. And now we can run up these stairs, removing these torches. And we're going to put doors at the top of here. We'll decorate this when we get to it. Right now we want to get our boat thing to go to the Pebble Beach. And by turning on this bright blue light, that's going to allow us to locate what direction our... So we need to go that way-ish. Almost straight in. We'll go over a little bit. Oh, right. I need to be starting at the top. Okay, so we want this thing to be at least this tall. We're going to make it one more after the inside. We'll just do it like this. We're going to do it like that, and we are going to use the destruction wand because it's all stone. This is like the easiest one we're going to do in a long time. And we can put a torch on the floor there. That will automatically get washed away when we put the water in. I'm not being a smart aleck at all with that. Okay. We're going to start moving over a little bit. We're going to do like that. See, this is, okay, yeah, this is working. Just gonna knock out a little wall here and there. And I think it's possible that this might be the only turn we're doing. After we get lined up. Okay, stop doing that. Okay, so if we open Journey Map to big size and scroll in here, it's right between the, right along this wall, so we need to come over another, right now we're, so about 5, maybe 6 blocks over. And if we come a little too far over, that's okay, because, you know, we're going to have the beach at the end. So We'll go about 5 more over. We're gonna do. Give me light. Let there be light. Yes, I'm actually that crazy. It's okay though. And we just keep coming. Keep coming. We have to watch out for these things. That's fine. That's not big enough for things to spawn on. That sure as heck is. We have to watch out and make sure that monsters aren't going to be spawning down our dark tunnel. That is not the first way that the first years are supposed to be introduced to wizard combat. I think I'm as far over as I need to go, so we just keep going this way. Well, we needed to go a little further over. So I'm really glad that I did the staircase now out of cobblestone rather than just leaving them as stone walls, because that, my friends, would be the staircase into the dungeon level. So we're just gonna nuts. How wide is our tunnel supposed to be? Oh, look at all the bats. We did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 wide. Let's see. So this came over 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, he needs to go 2 more over. Alright. So we'll do 1 here. And then another 1 here, and that'll be 2. And and then 1 more over here. That was wrong. Well, Sarah left most of her brain behind at some point, but that's okay. Just has to, you know. Okay, and now 1 more. Good enough. That's all underwater. Okay, so the water's getting a little deeper here. That's fine. And okay, so I said there were 2 students. Obviously, Minerva McGonagall was ended up in Gryffindor. rather than Ravenclaw. But that was she's the oldest person that we know of that caused the hat stall. Second, the person that we know is Peter Pettigrew. So Peter Pettigrew, again, we know ended up in Gryffindor. But the hat stalled trying to determine whether to put him in Gryffindor or, yep, you guessed it, Slytherin. And there's the Pebble Beach. Okay. We're gonna just have a hold on. Nose itched. What are we gonna do here? What are we gonna do here? We are going to. Wrong. Peter Pettigrew, many will believe, should have been put in Slytherin because, I mean, not the best guy in the world, right? But it is stated, and I can sort of believe it, that he did actually redeem himself by his death at the end. And I can see that. He did redeem himself. So he's not my favorite person by any stretch of the imagination. Like, any at all. But I do feel that I mean, Voldemort's hand killed him because he tried to spare Harry's life. He tried to do the honorable thing. Now, granted, Harry had to prompt him to do said honorable thing. But then he did do it, so right now I'm putting the water in the deep area. And it should flatten itself out. We're going to do this in a slightly less painstaking way when we do the full lake. In fact, I'm going to do it in that less painstaking way right now. Alright, I'm here. Check this out. Fill water 20. For 20 blocks around me, it filled water. And go over here and do it again. Over here, do it again. And that is a lighting error. So now our boat dock, I had to fix a couple of places that didn't go quite as planned. But for the most part, as we go through here, yeah, I sort of wish that if I had a torch in my hand, it lit up the place, because that would make it a whole lot easier to... I'm going to fix this lighting error and this one. That worked. It didn't work. Torch, go away. Torch, go away. There it goes. Now, this area here is unfortunately going to have to... We can't have that. That's a spawnable area right there. Damn bats get in the way all the time. Now that one, that can stay from there because now we have to make a pebble beach. Let's see. We have 1 minute left until the video's over. Okay guys, so I guess this is where I leave you. The idea here is that I now need to put in an actual pebble beach and maybe decorate it a little bit. I'm not sure exactly how. And then I need to go up here and make this not a gaping hole in the ground. Maybe put some rocks in, something so that, you know, it looks closed. As close as it can be to make a Hagrid-sized hole in the ground. I don't know. I'll figure something out. Then that'll be it. The Pebble Beach will be done. So I will show you that wonderfulness. Wait. I have no idea how to get the squids to not spawn in the water. And I was, yeah. Okay. So, I'll be replacing this with gravel and making this sort of cave-like, I think. Probably putting some vines in here. They will grow in the dark, and then I'll give it a little bit of color. We'll see how it goes. I've got to have... we follow him up the stone path. Okay, yeah, we made it steps. So what? And then up the stone steps outside, which will be here-ish, all the way up to the front doors of the castle. Ta-da! Front doors, right here. So, we got it. Really quickly before I leave, because I know those of you who have been watching the live streams consistently definitely wanted to see this. I settled on a color palette, I think. The majority of the castle will be done in the brick. We'll have some cracked and some mossy thrown in for color variation. And then crumbly parts or things like, the foundation. In this, maybe some parts that should be cobble, like fireplaces, that kind of thing. And then we have the purple, the clay, and the quartz for accents. Because the quartz and the clay are what we used for the gate, so that those colors already tie into our color scheme. And the purple, of course, is, as we went over with the Quidditch stadium, purple is like the universal wizard color. Not to mention it's of the DragonflySara channel. Alright, so that's it for everybody. I will see y'all next time. Hopefully there will be a video Monday going over the kitchen level. And we will be continuing with the story. Hope y'all enjoyed some of the trivia today, and I look forward to seeing you next week. And I really want to be able to end the live stream on a not rambly note at one point, but my computer has to cooperate for that. And it doesn't. Ever. I don't know how long I can hold this space. Oh well. I might clip this part off after it.